Phillies. The Phillies have been out of it for a long time. The Eagles haven't even started, so this is the only game in town down in camp. So we're going to decide how to start this. This is going to pick the card. The top card, please. Okay. Now what do you have?
You got a 4.
All right, what have it?
I have the jack.
Jack's to open.
Jack's to open. It's hard being Jack, running wild like a jaguar, a jumping jackrabbit, wound as tight as a jack-in-the-box, innocent as a juvenile. It's hard being Jack, stuck in jam and jelly like a jackass, jackknifed by love, jackhammered into depths of jeopardy. It's hard being Jack, led by the orange light of jack-o'-lanterns, the glowing jest of jokers, a jack of all trades, jaded as a junk jalopy. It's hard being Jack, caught between judge and jury, Joseph and Judas, not knowing jack shit about where the jackpot lies.
Some days you hit the jackpot, and some days the jackpot hits you.
Watch out for falling over. Running under the wires with the pigeons overhead, I'm playing a sort of urban Russian roulette. Of course, all of the pigeons are loaded. But I'm risking a consequence other than death. No worse, I think, and yet perhaps no better. Some people die before ever being shit on. Others live long enough to be shit on many times. So who are the lucky ones? I guess that depends upon whether or not we get shit on in the afterlife. No one I know knows, so I suppose I'll have to wait to find out. Meanwhile, I may as well just run under the wires with the pigeons overhead. Maybe it'll give me an idea of what the afterlife is like.
This is for the birds.
Attitudinal foul. A flock of ducks decided to cross the road the day I was late for an appointment, flaunting their teal, feathery splendor in my direction, their deafening quacking aimed at me. How annoyed they were. Were they cursing my name? Issuing strong poxes and hexes that only ducks know? I watched as these feathers with an attitude flipped their bills at me with disdain or maybe disgust. And I wondered if this was the origin of flipping the bird. I knew no one could do it as regally as they. Don't Look at Me That Way by Mike Cohen.
Don't look at me that way. It's a crazy world and I'm just trying to keep up. Don't look at me that way. All you'll see is me looking back at you that way. Don't look at me that way. Enough people have already looked at me that way. Many of those people are dead. Don't look at me that way. There are sunsets and mountain streams, twinkling constellations, and prettier faces to look at. And there are other ways, so don't look at me that way.
It is a crazy world and you do have to keep up, so here's to a little insanity.
Insanity. Within the confines of thousands of minds dwells the curse of insanity, a most cruel affliction where everyday decisions sway upon the catwalk of calamity. A tricky psychoanalysis of this brain-functioning paralysis lost in psychopathical devastation. To try to restore some kind of order, they counteract the problem with medication. But the mind is of tremendous power. Let madness have the hour to dance and sing. And this ballroom psychodrama, where each step is a trauma. Oh, sanity, such a precious thing.
Hang on to that precious thing, Steve, because madness is coming. You can hear it through the wall.
I heard it in the walls, just barely, but steady, coming that chattery beat, like a teletype, yes. I heard it in the walls, and when I turned to it, really listened to it, ear to wall, it stopped. Again, I turned away. And when I turned to it, really listened ear to wall, it stopped again, and I turned away. But it was back. I busied myself with paperwork, swung around in my chair back to the noise that ever so low hum, started and stopped. The sound of madness.
Madness. Steve hears something maddening in the walls. Flo, the progressive insurance lady. He hears her in the walls, in the air, on the radio, the television, the internet. She's everywhere. And I'm afraid she's not going away.
Now that's progressive. Last night, I dreamt I killed a progressive girl. You know the one from the commercials. She looks like Bozo the Clown with all that makeup and lipstick who yells, "Discount!" She is everywhere. On the radio when I need traffic and weather. She is on billboards along highways. She is even on a billboard at the end of my street. I can't escape her annoying presence, so I did her in. She didn't go easily as I clobbered her over the head with her price gun. "And no more carrying that purse," she taunted. "It's a European handbag, bitch," I screamed. I must have been thrashing about in my bed because when I awoke, I was sweating, panting, covers to the left of me, pillows to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Finally, I bludgeoned her with a mighty blow. She shrieked one last, "It's an office party!" And finally, mercifully, she was gone. But she still haunts me. She's still there whether the TV is on or off. The billboards may change, but she's still there with that stupid smile, aiming her price gun at me. Oh, how I sympathize with that poor unnamed bastard from the Telltale Heart as she mocks me. And we're walking, and we're walking.
You can find Flo everywhere, but you can't seem to find what you're looking for anywhere.
I know I came in here for something. I was looking for my W-2s, digging through that pile of paperwork on the top of what used to be a stove. I found the scissors. That's where they were. I put them back in the kitchen drawer and find the crazy glue with the purple top. That should be on the second shelf of the cupboard above, so I moved that to its home. Where I find the box tape and the flashlight. Why are these there? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the Christmas mailing, hiding stuff in the car at night. Oh, so the tape goes to Grandma Grotz's desk in the bedroom. The flashlight to the car. I don't see the W-2s. They could be in that mountain of envelopes on the table. Amex, Citibank, Capital One promos, shred pile. Timeshare nonsense, sweepstakes, catalog crap. Shred pile is now a box. All State Farm, Farmers. The next 3 handfuls of envelopes tell me that I can save 15% of my car insurance. I'm tempted to give them to my friend Steve, who despises Flo. The next bunch of envelopes tell me the animals, the ozone, the parks, the anti-fracking all need my support. They send me calendars. Some send 2. Still no W-2s. I find a jury duty summons. We'll have to let them know. They excuse me permanently. Guess civil service doesn't share information. I should know. Trial date is at the end of January, so plenty of time. Where are those W-2s? Find lots of good poems from my critique circles. Stop to read them. Forget this. W-2s don't come out until the end of January anyhow.
It's not that you haven't got what you need. It's that you got so much other damn stuff.
Now, in this material world, there are things and there are damn things. Damn things are the sorts of things that aren't good to have. But you can't tell which things are damn things till you have them. For a while, there is no certainty, but there are probabilities. A certain proportion of things will turn out to be damn things. So the more things you get, the more damn things you'll have. And yet, in this material world, you are bound to want things, to expend your energies, to acquire things, to produce, purchase, and purloin things just so you can have them. But once you have them, you find that for all your labor, your lechery, and your larceny, what you end up with is too damn many damn things. Now, isn't that the damnedest thing of all?
As we go on in time, we find out that we are just old.
Old. You're so old, you say in that manner, somewhere between humor and ridicule. It's true, I am older, too old for your mind games, artless arrogance, and snide remarks you think I don't get. But I'm so far ahead of you, you can't see my ass with a long-range telescope. You couldn't begin to process my unspoken contempt for the vacant parking lot that you are. I'll concede your poker face, your winning hands, but while you're busy flicking the aces across the room, I'll have collected cash them for a poem that you could never imagine. You're so young.
People can be a real pain, especially dentists.
Advil isn't cutting it. So much Novocaine, then the drilling. All dentists smile too freely, have jokes that are older than the magazines in the waiting room. First I smell the drill dust from the tooth, then I smell a different kind of dust. I'm drilling into your jaw, which he did for a long time, going deep into the bone, 3 stitches on the front of the molar, 3 stitches on the back. Don't brush around those stitches, and then the prescription. Take Advil for the pain. I get home and find the Novocaine fog lifting. I find Advil isn't cutting it. Leftover Darvocet has little effect. I want to wake up on whatever day the pain ends. I ask him to call in the toadian. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is it? I say, it's just short of having my leg ripped off. He laughs. I think of nasty things to do to him with his breath. He says he'll call it in. Maybe I'll try Advil another time.
People can give you a real, I'm sorry. When you're the patient, the practice of medicine always seems like practice.
Trick or treat. God save us from doctors and treatments. Does anyone, after all, survive medical treatment? Patients endure it for a time, but eventually succumb. Of course, you won't find medical treatment implicated on a death certificate. Not surprising when you consider who fills out the death certificate. But death aside, what about the effects of medical treatment on life? Of all the time spent in doctors' offices and hospitals, how many pleasurable moments have there been? Why do patients continue to flock to medical treatment facilities to have torturous procedures inflicted on them when they could pass the time so much more agreeably? Far better to go to a museum and look at artwork, or to go to a concert hall and listen to music, or to go to a theater and watch a play, or even perhaps to go into a closet, close the door, and scream in the dark, or to go to your desk and write a therapeutic for the writer diatribe against doctors and their treatments.
Ironic when it's supposed to be good for you is bad for you, but the world seems to turn against us at every turn.
When stuff goes away. Stuff goes away when power ebbs to the lowest level and unchecked thoughts bombard the brain with complicated clutter. Stuff vanishes at critical points, life and death points that later turn out to be benign. What was within one's grasp but moments before reappears at inappropriate location. Stuff knows when you need it most and goes into hiding until it is needed least. Stuff has a mind of its own.
We have a hard time managing our stuff, our lives, and our time, our stuff, and our lives.
Cause and effect. It's the last stamp we have but can't find, the trivial lick, the all-important mail drop ruined. It's less